Hello, everybody. Hey, welcome. Hey, Awakened Wellness Group, welcome. I'm Talia, and this is Food Buddha. If you don't know me, I'm a mentor coach for women who struggle with weight and self-love and really know that another diet isn't the answer, another plan isn't the answer. They have an inner nudge that this struggle is about something bigger. And often I'm helping people with weight and with health and also just creating the life that they want. So my clients come to me from all over the world with all different situations, and I guide them to their inner power so that they can create the life they want, which beautifully brings us to today. I am talking about law of attraction, which is something that I'm going to be really honest with you. It's absolutely the cornerstone of my life, and I credit it completely to me being able to have the results that I have had, going from very, very insecure and overweight and unhealthy and self-conscious with no trace of self-love to someone who is now helping other people, who is embraced with self-love and just creating a giddy life. I'm healthy, I'm happy, and I've dramatically turned it around. In my lowest lows, I had an eating disorder. I was even bulimic when I found out I was pregnant, and when I wasn't pregnant, I was drinking, and there was even drugs for a time, and I was just really, really lost. Basically just horribly insecure, wanting to escape my life. And now I create a life that is just pinch me. It's beyond what I've been able to imagine. So law of attraction is what honestly has made this all possible. And that's why I'm really passionate to share with you today all about it. So if you're popping on, let me know, say hi, let me know how familiar you are with law of attraction. Let me know if you've heard of it, if you're interested. I mean, if you're here, I guess you're interested. Let's get to it. Okay, so law of attraction in its actual essence, in its definition, states that like attracts like. So I've got notes, I've got like pages of inspiration that I want to bring to you today. So if I'm looking down, that's why. So like attracts like. And you attract energy that is similar to you. So here are some very real life examples of how that happens. We all probably know somebody who is a dramatic type personality. Maybe things are always going wrong, or they're really loud or aggressive. And everywhere they look in their life, it seems to be more of the same. There's those people that complain about a lot of things. And I don't mean this as in it's bad to complain, but meaning drama seems to swirl around them. It's always something. They're always upset at something. And that's kind of the whirlwind of their life. And maybe that was you at a certain point. Maybe that's you right now, is things tend to always be going wrong. And, you feel maybe like you're at a disadvantage. There's those people that are like that. And that is law of attraction in action. I'm not just trying to be trendy and rhyme there. But that is the law of attraction working. They have a set way of perceiving the world, a set thought system, and they attract more of that to them. So some people are really unlucky with love or with money or something, and that's just law of attraction. There's just a momentum that's that has been caused by their thoughts, the way they perceive the world. And then it just will play out so consistently. Law of attraction is like your diligent friend. It's almost like a dog that will just always say, your wish is my command, and bring you more of the same. So it's very reliable. It works every single time, which is why it's really important to understand it. So there's that example of sort of a dramatic person. Also, another example is your thoughts. Maybe somebody does something, your boss or your spouse or your parents, or somebody does something that really bothers you. And in the moment, you kind of go, what? What was that? And then the more you think about it, the more you go, wait a minute, that's brutal. How could they even do that? I give so much and they turn around and they do this to me. I've done this. And the more you think about it, you can feel your body getting angrier and angrier. And pretty soon it's, I always do that and they never do this. And it starts piling on all this stuff. These thoughts become more and more. It's literally a momentum. You picture a car rolling down a giant hill. It starts off very slow, but when left untouched, man, you don't want to be at the bottom of that hill because that car is going so fast. And that's what happens in our life, in our thoughts, in our health. It's a momentum, it's a spiral. It doesn't start off that way. When you were brought into this world, you were a little baby with no real preconceived notions of this world. And as you've gotten older, maybe you've seen things, maybe you've experienced things, and those things keep replaying themselves. Why do people pick spouses that are very much like their father or their mother? Or if they were abused when they were young, it's natural to get into an abusive relationship. It's not comfortable, but it seems to be all they know. And that is the law of attraction working. So I really want you to just understand and look into it more if this intrigues you, that like attracts like, and the vibration you're putting out is the vibration you're going to attract. Our body is energy. That's what it is. This isn't spiritual. This isn't conceptual. Our body is energy according to physics, right? And energy transfers. Energy can transform. And if somebody walks into a room that's really upset, you feel that. When somebody walks into a room that's really joyful, or the person's really joyful, you feel that. If a couple comes into a room that's just had a fight, sometimes it's like, I don't even know what I feel here, but like there's tension. How do you describe tension? It's an energy. So we are energetic beings, and we're putting out a level of vibration that is going to be coming back to us. It's going to be what we attract. Another way this comes in is, have you ever noticed that when you get a new car, or you're looking up dogs, or you think of a vacation spot, and all of a sudden, often you're seeing the same car. You're seeing people talk about, or, the same dog that you just got. Or all of a sudden you start thinking about Bali, or someone's saying you should go to vacation to Bali. All of a sudden all you see is vacations about Bali, or people talking about Bali. And it's just crazy. I remember when I got my car that I have right now, a Mazda 3. I didn't realize that everybody in the world has a Mazda 3 until I got it. And then I was seeing them everywhere. Like every third person has a Mazda 3. And that's law of attraction. You start noticing what is already there, what has come into your life. Like attracts like. And it wasn't that those Mazda 3s didn't exist before. It's that they weren't in my line of vision. So why would I even notice them? I wasn't attracting them into my thoughts. I wasn't attracting them into my life, into my mind. So yeah, they were there, but I didn't notice them until I got a Mazda 3. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh my goodness, they're everywhere. And that's how life works. That's what law of attraction is. So we are a product of our thoughts, and the way that we think determines the way that we act. So an example is, say you have a really tense relationship with your mom or your dad, and you're really focused on this relationship, this past you've had, that thing that happened when you were 6, and why did this happen? Or that thing that, he or she said last Christmas that really got into you. So now you're in a state of agitation about them, and this could be your whole life. So now everything that happens is going to be a reflection of that. So now your poor mom, who's just trying to do the best that she can, when she says one little thing, you have the momentum of 30 years or 10 years or 6 months or whatever of thinking about this thought, internalizing this thing that happened that really bugged you, where you felt victimized or wronged or misunderstood. And now when she tries to say something, or he tries to say something, it's going through the filter of hurt and angry and shame, or whatever it is, regret, whatever. And now everything that they say annoys you. And it's like, oh, did you hear what my mom said? When really they may not have even meant that, but you're already tense. And I know you can relate to that. We all have that person that we don't like, or that person that's wronged us, or when you find out that that person's coming to the party, you're already like, oh, I just don't want to see them. So when they walk into that party, or your mom or your dad says something, there's almost no choice but to react the same way you've always reacted, or to internalize it and make it mean something that is just a reflection of the past. So you see how our thoughts now start dictating our actual reality. Your mom or your dad says something and it's so triggering. not because of just that thing they said now, but it's because of all the thoughts and all the energy that you've already put into it. So you're not wrong for that. I just want to explain to you the way that it works. So now everything your mom or your dad or that friend says or whatever is annoying. And now how do you act when somebody's annoying? What space are you holding for them? You're probably a little bit guarded. You're probably a little bit already like, oh, let's see what she's going to say this time. And that's how you enter the situation. So of course, law of attraction is going to be your loyal companion and is going to give you more of the same. So of course she's going to say something. Oh, I just saw a heart. Thank you, whoever that was. Let me know if you're popping on. Let me know you're here and maybe where you're coming in from and if this resonates with you. So now there's no choice but the same thing to happen over and over. And why is it so hard to heal relationships, to heal wounds? Because it's just so overwhelming. There's been so many thoughts and so many things. And this could be your pattern with weight, with wealth, with abundance, with love, with happiness and joy or health in general. There's just been so much in the past, so much guilt, so much failure, so much all this stuff that you've interpreted and really felt is like wrong and I'm bad and I'm weak. And so everything now that you're about to embark on is going to have the same tone. It's going to be the same thing. We're never going to escape it unless you get to the root of it, not meaning that you have to dig through all your mommy and daddy issues, but the root of it is your thoughts. So if you can start to understand law of attraction, you really start to get to a place where you go, whoa, I don't really want to attract more failure, more guilt, more, lack of health, more lack of abundance, like less love. I don't want to attract any more of that. So like, I got to do something about my thoughts. And this is where a really powerful shift comes in. And this is what's really changed my life. It wasn't that I had to go through all my old issues. And this is what I work with. This is how I work with clients is I'm not even talking about law of attraction, but we're switching the paradigm. We're switching the thought pattern. And that is what gets them tremendous results. So let's keep going so that you can get something really tangible and really make a big shift here just by watching this video. So to change the results you're getting in your life, you need to change your thoughts. And that's going to take a bit of bravery. That's going to take a bit of you being that person that you truly are that can just focus on love and let go of all the things that that person has done or said or anything. And sometimes we might need to have a conversation with that person to even just say, you know what? I'm choosing to forgive you. I'm choosing to move on so that your thoughts can soften. And sometimes we don't need to have these conversations. And we can just choose to take ownership of our thoughts, own it, and know that everything in your life is a product of law of attraction. We don't just go to work to manifest wealth and go, I'm going to attract 5 grand this month or whatever, or I'm going to attract losing 10 pounds or a healthy body. And then it's like it's segregated and that's what I'm going to attract. Actually, everything around you is what you've attracted. These clothes, this lamp, this phone, it all started with a thought that went, I'd like to get a new phone, or that hoodie's on sale, or whatever. You've attracted it all. You've attracted your mate, your job. There was a point where you applied for that job or you said yes to that job. You attracted it all. So when we can really own that and go, wow, everything here, this mug, these rings, this, these earrings, this hair color, whatever, I have attracted this. And you can start to own it and then gently start owning that you've attracted the feelings you don't like. You've maybe attracted the unhealthy body, and this isn't to get down on yourself. This is actually empowering when you're truly stepping back and going, how can I change my life? I want to look at it real this time. I see there's a comment from Veronica. I'm excited to be watching you speak about this right now. I'm so interested in law of attraction. Yes, the more I believe, the more proof I'm shown. This comes to towards the end of this is The proof is in you practicing it, because I can tell you all this stuff and you can even sit there and go, this isn't going to work. And guess what you're going to attract? You're going to attract it not working. So it's all up to you. And thank you, Veronica, for saying that, because it's so true. The more you believe it, the more proof you're shown. And that's why there's these, sayings. Wayne Dyer wrote a book called Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life, because literally everything starts in your thoughts. So you have to get to a point where you are receptive to something new. And that's what I was just saying about changing your thoughts. Sometimes you might have to have a conversation with someone. Like I said, you might just choose to forgive. And the really, really hard thing that you can't forgive, that's the place to start. And it sounds scary, but that's why I love working with people in this, because you can forgive that one big thing or that series of things and own that I've attracted this all into my life. And if something happened to you when you were a child or there was abuse, I don't want you to hear me as you did something wrong and attracted that. It could be actually the momentum of your mother or father's thoughts and patterns. So there's room for compassion, and it's not your fault. This isn't your fault. If you've attracted an unhealthy body, if you've created that in your life, this isn't your fault. It's just that you can change it, because law of attraction is working all the time. So how do you change the results? It starts in changing your thoughts. And you have to start changing the paradigm around what you believe, or else it's not going to work. So if you're just going like, okay, healthy body, healthy body, healthy body, $1 million, $1 million. And that's why I said in this, it's not just about vision boards. Because if we put up a vision board and create this, this thing that looks like a dream life, if we're still acting the same and our paradigm around what we think is real and what we think gets us results doesn't change, then it's just a piece of paper with a bunch of other piece of paper glued to it. It's not the secret to our success or the secret to our freedom. But when we start to change our thoughts and then use things like visual images or like affirmations, once our thoughts are even, doesn't mean they have to be perfect, but once the paradigm starts to shift, and what I mean by that is you start to get a broader perspective on how this all works, and it starts to get much bigger. Like if you knew without a doubt that your thoughts created your life, like 100% proof, however you got to that place, you might start to be really careful about when you look in the mirror and go, ugh, I'm so fat. And then if you knew that you were attracting more fat, you probably wouldn't do that. If you just knew without a shadow of a doubt, if you're like, ugh, my mom's so annoying, you're just attracting an annoying mom. And if you knew that, you'd be really careful about what you thought about. And sometimes in the beginning of this law of attraction practice, and this is the same for me totally, I got so consumed with overanalyzing every little thought. I felt like every single thought had to be perfect, and it actually led me to be really almost anxious, because I'd be frustrated and then I'm like, I can't be frustrated because I'm just attracting more of this. Oh, I got to get my head. And so we need to really experiment, learn about it, get to a place where it's a calm thing. You're allowed to feel feelings, and sometimes to vent or to get it out actually allows you to feel a lot better. Whereas if you didn't get it out because you're terrified of just attracting more and you don't want to like complain or anything, you'll start to feel really suffocated and really like anxious inside. You've got all these feelings you don't know what to do with. So there's a time and a place. There's a time to vent. There's a time to just like get it out of your system. And there's a time to just change your thoughts when you can. So I want to reassure you that every tiny little thought is creating more of the same, but a positive thought is so much more powerful than a negative thought. So if you look in the mirror and you think, ugh, I just don't like my body today, try to say that, if that's what comes to your head naturally, and then you can start to shift it and say something like, and I really look forward to when I'm starting to feel healthier. And I know that there must be a way to get to health and happiness. And I'm sure looking forward to discovering that. I do feel like I'm on a better path now than I used to be. And I look forward to when my body will start reflecting that rapidly in the mirror. Do you see how that changes your energy? So instead of just looking at yourself and thinking, ugh, gross, you think, ugh, I don't feel very good today, but I'm sure there's a way that I can get to feel better. Or I sure look forward to exploring the way in which I'm going to find my freedom or my health or my happiness, because there must be a way. That even just possibility opens up the law of attraction. It opens up more possibility. It opens up more possibility for health. So one of the paradigms with weight and health, and really anything, is we have to stop looking for external answers. We have to start looking within and know that once we have self-love, the results will ripple out. Once we have that ownership over our thoughts, our results will change. So stop looking. That's why I'm so big on saying to not look for another diet. It's not that every diet is wrong or that every diet is unhealthy. It's just that the longer you look outside yourself, the longer it'll take to find your power and get these results. So we have to switch the paradigm from, I'm not looking for the answers out here. I'm looking for the answers in here. And that's why I'm so big on, of course, what I do. And if you're hiring someone, if you're getting new books or programs or hiring a mentor, just make sure that it's somebody who is showing you and guiding you to your source, your inner power, instead of just telling you what to do. It really bothers me when I hear people say, if you follow my advice exactly, you will get these results. And it's kind of like, well, okay, but what if that's not the exact path for that person? What if they need something slightly different? So start to switch the paradigm and look for the answers to come from within. Oh man, I've got some really good stuff here for you guys, so I'm really excited. So next I want to say that when exploring the law of attraction, so we've gone over kind of what it is, like attracts like, our vibration attracts more, and I'm going to get to in a minute how you know where your vibration is and how you can even change that. So that's really important. But I want you to know that as you're exploring a better feeling life, it can sometimes be pretty much always, I hate saying that, but it's uncomfortable. Because it's new. You are rocking paradigms at their core and really creating a new life. So it's going to be a little uncomfortable, but that just means that you're going into something new, that you're exploring, going into territories that you've never been in before. So just know that as you start making these shifts, you're going to get pulled down by thoughts of the past, thoughts of old paradigms, old thoughts of the way that you used to think about yourself. So it might be, if we're talking about health, you're going to get thoughts of like, I'm gross, or I'm overweight, or I'm never going to do this, or whatever it is. I'm poor, I'm not lovable, I'm not capable, I'm not smart enough. You're still going to have those thoughts, but where the power is going to come in this time of transition, this time of understanding the law of attraction, is trying not to let that be the momentum. Like I said about the car, the thought is at the top of the hill. And when you let it roll down that hill, the momentum just will pick up. You can't roll a car down a hill in neutral and have some cars get fast at the bottom and some cars will actually be slow at the bottom. It's not the way that it works. So as you start to come across negative thoughts, I look really orange. It's funny because there's no orange filter on me. I don't know what's happening. Doesn't matter. Every car is going to be fast at the bottom of the hill. So if you look in the mirror and you think I'm ugly or I'm unlovable, or you look at your bank account and think, oh, this is never going to change, try right then to switch it to a slightly better feeling thought, because that takes the momentum from this direction of I'm fat and I'm weak and I'm poor and I'm unlovable, to a direction of, and I'm sure that there's a way, and I'm getting there. I'm a seeker. I'm keep seeking. Something that is really empowering for me is if I look in the mirror and I don't like what I see, I think, ugh, something. And then I kind of go, what's going on inside that I would start to hate myself? Am I stressed? Am I coping? What's going on inside? And that right away shifts the energy from like, I'm gross or I'm wrong or I should be six-pack Joe over here, to what's going on inside? You know what, you're right, I am stressed and I am coping with this. And that actually brings about an energy of compassion. So you've changed it from I'm gross to compassion. And if that momentum is going to build on anything, wouldn't you rather that momentum be built on curiosity or compassion or optimism rather than just I'm gross? Because the longer you think that, you're going to find 101 evidence or 101 arguments why you're gross. You're going to look at your tummy, you're going to look at this, you're going to look at an old picture and think, oh, blah, 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 blah. And that can just go on for ever. And that's why we get so stuck in our thought patterns, because we just have law of attraction, faithful companion, always working, always giving you more of the same. So let's just try to switch the paradigm, change the paradigm, change the thought pattern. And that's really what I do with my clients at the very core, is I show them how to change their thought pattern. And honestly, when they take the leap to sign with me, that changes it right there, because they're changing the paradigm from I'm alone and I'm lost to, oh my goodness, there's hope. I am now supported. And that's why I say, like, when you're scared about the investment or the time it's going to take, the universe will have your back, because law of attraction is working for you. And as you invest in yourself, law of attraction will give you more of the same. So it'll give you more support. It'll give you more money to compensate for what you've just put out. It will. It always does. It did for me. When I invested my first, in my first coach, it always did. But this isn't just about investing in me. I'm just showing you how it works. And when you start putting your thoughts and your life in a better feeling direction, you will be supported. And I can't prove that to you through a video by citing, my clients' experiences and my experiences. You have to try it. And then you will see. And just like Veronica said so beautifully, the more I believe, the more proof I'm shown. So it's your job to really try that out. I'm getting oranger by the minute. What is happening? Look like I got lost in a tanning bed. Ooh, that's nice. Kind of porcelain. Anyway. Okay, so moving on. How my clients are losing weight and feeling relaxed and all of this is because we switch the paradigm. They're eating better without effort. A client a couple weeks ago said that was the easiest 4.5 pounds I've ever lost, because I wasn't actually trying, because she switched her thoughts. So they start to know it's their thoughts, not their actions, that get them the results. So the actions come. Yes, to pick up a fork and eat a salad might make your body healthier than, eating a cheeseburger, but that isn't even really what matters. I'm serious. It's the thoughts, because the more we think we're worthy, the more we love ourselves, the more we naturally just want to do things that are in line with self-love. The universe starts presenting us with more opportunities for self-love, more thoughts that match the thoughts of self-love. And then we naturally want to eat better. We naturally want to just go for a walk or be in nature or go to a yoga class, which brings me to my next point, and this is so powerful. I'm starting to wrap up here towards the end, and this is getting really powerful and really potent, is you'll never attract the health, the wealth, the happiness, the love that you want when you're feeling the way you're feeling about it now, unless you're feeling incredibly joyful. But by looking at it like I have a lack, I'm over here and health is over there. I'm over here and $1 million is over there. I'm here and the love of my life is somewhere out there. By making us separate to it, we start feeling like, what do I have to do to get there? And that's a shitty feeling. I feel like I've been swearing a lot more in my videos, getting a little bit more passionate, I guess. It's crappy. It feels awful to think I'm so overweight, I'm so unhealthy, I'm over here and I can't even get over there, like rah. And the more we think that, faithful law of attraction comes in and makes you feel more and more separate from your health. But the more you start looking at what you have now and what is already working, that will start to bring more of the same. So right away, I'm just going to point that your ego might be saying to you, I can't just pull from what I feel good about now, and then that's going to magically allow me to lose 20, 40, 50, 100 pounds, but it will. And maybe the reason why it hasn't worked yet is because maybe you haven't believed it yet. You haven't actually been in belief the power of your thoughts. You've been thinking that it's your actions that are going to do all the work. So yes, naturally, we go to a diet. We try to run more. We try to join a boot camp. We try to eat more kale. We try to drink more water. And try. Action, 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 action. We think that if we action more, if we do more, we'll get more results. But that's actually not the way it works. When we do more and we're like in this active energy, we get drained, we get overwhelmed, and guess what? It leads to things like binging and cravings because we're so focused on, I can't eat this and I have to eat this, that eventually we can't even keep up with ourselves. And then we have binges and cravings because the law of attraction is coming in when we're saying, I can't eat that and I can't eat that, but I really want it, but I really want it. All that chaotic energy is giving you more chaos. And what's more chaos than binging and compulsive eating and more rules and more rigid and defeat and guilt? And it's all in the same vibration of, I got to get there. I don't have it yet. I got to get more. And so you will continue to suffer. So if you're watching this, let me know. I see there's a few people on. Let me know if this is resonating with you and if you're starting to maybe understand a little bit about how it works. And if you have any questions, if you're watching the replay, this is so important because if you're sparked with inspiration about this being a way for you, but you have a bunch of questions, those questions unanswered can lead you to kind of just slip back into the old way that's familiar. But this is a new way I'm presenting. This is magical. So, okay, I'm going to get to the part of vibration now. So we attract similar vibrations. If we're living in a chaotic, dramatic environment, we're going to bring about more chaos and drama. If we're living thinking we're incredibly unhealthy and unhappy and fat and all these negative things, we are going to bring more of it no matter what we do. That's why it's like, I try so hard and I'm not getting any results. Or I feel like I can diet for 3 weeks and lose a couple pounds, but it's so hard. And then the second I go on vacation or the second I have a dinner out or it's Christmas time, I gain back all the weight I lost. Like, it's so hard. When we feel like we're working against ourselves, against our body, we're working against the law of attraction, which will always win. So let's just relax a bit, get in the flow of what feels good and watch more good feeling things come, more opportunities come. So how do we know if we're in a good vibration, like a high vibration or a low vibration or in the middle? How do we know? There's one way you can know, and it is so accurate. There's never any room for misinterpretation or nothing is misleading. How is the one way you know what your vibration is? I just want to see if you can think. How do you know where your vibration is? It's your feelings. Your feelings are the way you know. So right now, as you're watching this, what feelings do you have? That is your vibration. Are you starting to feel a little bit relieved, a little bit more optimistic? That's your vibration. Your vibration is vibrating at relieved and optimistic, which will bring you more things that will create relief and optimism. So you might get off this video, go and scroll Facebook and see a bunch of inspiring quotes because now the universe is providing you with inspiration. And those inspiring quotes may have been there before, but they maybe wouldn't have come in front of you, or it would have just been something you scrolled past so fast you didn't absorb. So it's kind of like the Mazda 3. I'm now focused on Mazda 3s, so the universe shows me more. And that's what's going to work. So before I go, I want to give you what to focus on to start to dramatically change your life. And if you can just focus on these things, it will dramatically change your life. This is what I do with my clients. This is the meat of it. And they benefit with dramatic progress. Like week by week, they're dramatically changing because they have that support. and that check-in once a week or more. I check in with my clients every few days. We're talking, we're communicating. So it keeps the momentum going of this. But if you can keep the momentum going of this in whatever way, support for me is the absolute best way. I flourish with a coach, with support or something. But again, you can do this on your own. So if you can create this momentum and focus on these things, your life will be forever changed. You might even want to write these down. So instead of focusing on the weight you want, even if you think you're doing it positive, like I can't wait to be, confident in a bikini and 120 pounds and size 6 or whatever, stop focusing on the weight and the size. When we are focused on the weight, the size, your wealth, like the income, I want to reach 110K or I want to do this much in a month or whatever. When you stop focusing on the exact house you want, the exact car you want, the client you want to bring in, the job that you really, really want, the type of food you think you should eat, when you stop focusing on all those really specific things, because they're all very conditional. If you're focusing on, I gotta eat more veggies, I gotta eat more veggies, I gotta eat more veggies, the second you're not eating more veggies, you feel like, oh, I'm not doing it right, this isn't right, and you start to feel all lost. So we can't focus on these little things. I will assure you, the job, the wealth, the weight, the size, it'll all come. It's just a backdoor way of doing it. I'm not saying those things aren't important. I'm saying that when we focus on just the 120 pounds, well, this is dramatic, but what if you had a life-changing diagnosis? And what if all of a sudden you started dramatically losing weight because your body was suffering? You wouldn't just want to be at 120 pounds. 120 pounds isn't actually the goal, because you could have a stomach flu or get some really, like I said, a life-changing diagnosis or cancer or something, and your body starts wasting. All of a sudden, 120 pounds isn't actually what you want. So that's why we don't want to focus on just a weight or just a size, because it's not actually what we're going for. What are we really going for? So I'm going to encourage you to write these words down. I have them in a whiteboard next to my bed, because these words are so important, and these words are what activate the law of attraction. So I want you focusing on happiness, understanding, gratitude, on spirituality, on creativity, on acceptance and tolerance of yourself and of other people, on compassion about why you're where you are and why you feel certain ways, focusing on self-love and patience, and trying to bring those things into your everyday. So writing those out and going, happiness. How can I bring happiness to myself right now? Well, I can think of the day my daughter was born, or my wedding day, or yesterday when I found $5, or whatever it is. How can you bring happiness into your life right now? How can you bring gratitude and spirituality and creativity and connection? And I know that the busy mind, the ego, thinks, how is that going to have me lose 20 pounds? But I assure you, again, this is a paradigm shift. This is why it's not easy for everybody. But once you get it, oh my God, your life changes. When you can focus on tolerance and compassion for yourself, you will get more things that come into your life that breed more compassion, more tolerance. And so let's just look at even weight loss. If you start having compassion for yourself, you start going, I don't feel good today, but there must be a reason. I must be stressed. I must be, tired. Maybe I'm really hungry. You start having compassion, and then you start thinking, well, what can I do about that? Maybe I should just have a bath, and maybe I should, have a nap, or give myself some more downtime, some more me time. So then you start doing things like that. And then that creates a relaxed state in your body, a body and a mind that's no longer up here. What do I need to do? And I can't eat this, I can't eat that. You actually start being more relaxed. And then within that relaxed feeling, you're drawn to good food. You're drawn to acts of self-love. You're drawn to going for a walk, like I was mentioning earlier, being in nature, nurturing yourself, which leads to weight loss. I'm not even kidding. A body that is stressed and anxious, no matter how much you're working out, no matter how much you're eating, it will hold on weight because it is so focused on you being in fight or flight, you being all stressed out, coping, your pH is altered, your cravings are high, emotional eating, like all this is happening because you're so focused on all of these little things. You're not focused on happiness and gratitude. And I assure you that it may be uncomfortable because we're radically shifting a paradigm, but I could say, okay, so don't believe me and keep doing what you've been doing, or keep being in the rat race of focusing on calories and carbs and all this stuff. And as soon as I say that, doesn't that go like, ugh, no. Okay, that's not really the answer. I'm going to take a leap of faith and focus on these things, acceptance and tolerance. And wouldn't that change the world if we all focused on our side of the street, cleaning up our own being, our own thoughts, our own life? And if you're focused on acceptance and tolerance and compassion, you're not going to be as angry at your mom or as angry about your past. And that in itself is going to change your reality. That is law of attraction. So I really hope that this has given you a little bit of clarity, and it's hard to go into all of it in just a video and you know, when we don't have that weekly checking in. So if you are curious about changing your life and changing your health, and you feel like I could really be someone that could support you, I have one spot left in my mentorship at the current level, at the current rate, and then it's going up after that. There's a whole lot of bonuses if you're signing with me now, and I'll list all that stuff below. But this is your time. The universe will support you when you start focusing on happiness, understanding, creativity, being expressed, acceptance, tolerance, compassion, self-love. The weight will happen. I promise you. I've lost over 55 pounds. I haven't been on a scale in a couple years, but I keep you know, getting smaller and getting more lean and all of that. And I haven't been focusing on it. When I was obsessed with my weight, even when I forced myself to lose weight, I was so unhappy. I started actually developing, like my hair was coming out, my skin was dry because I wasn't eating. And one thing that I don't know if anybody really knows about me is one time I actually had a seizure that was medically not explained, and I knew why it was, because I wasn't eating, I was drinking, I was so unhappy. My body started freaking out because there was a lack of love. And as I've given myself self-love, permission to be who I am, permission to have chocolate, permission to listen to myself, my body keeps just getting more towards that thing that I want it to be. And now it's that. Now I'm stepping into not being afraid of summer, not being afraid of wearing certain things, not being afraid of yoga or what she thinks of me or how I look at this angle. I'm just filled with self-love. And my body goes, okay, now we can be who you've always wanted to be, because now your head's in the right place. So I encourage you to explore this. Reach out to me. Let me know if you have any questions. I know this is a long video, but it's really hard to shift that paradigm in just 6 minutes, or even in however long this video is. It's hard to get that all in one time, but this is the truth. This is the reality of it. This is how my clients get absolutely transformative results, how they're feeling better, losing weight, how I've managed to transform my life. I even use law of attraction with my children, with my spouse, because it is working all the time. It's always giving you more of the same. So before I go, one really quick example, even with my kids, is my youngest kid. She has a very active energy. She's more explosive, like she'll tell you what she wants, what she doesn't want. Whereas my oldest is much more quiet. She's more prone to internalize things and sort of not do that. So my oldest, I realized the first couple years of her life, I was looking at her like, oh, that's what she does. She's explosive. She's, why is she always so loud? Why is she always so this? And I realized, man, I'm really not holding space for her to be allowed to be who she is. So law of attraction just keeps showing me ways where I think she's loud and she's dominating and she's this. And it's not that she's not sweet and amazing and considerate, but that's all I was focusing on. And me and my husband all of a sudden just decided, you know what? We have to fully just embrace who she is and love the hell out of her for who she is. And just by doing that, she has calmed down. She doesn't feel our energy of like, why are you so loud? Now she can be who she is and she doesn't feel the need to yell. So that is what I'm talking about. When we change our thoughts, we change our life. And I know that you can do this. This applies to you too. No matter what, it applies to you. I'm here for you. I love you. I will put the link below for mentorship, and the one spot that's left, if you're ready to get incredible results, to work together for 3 months to change your life, everything I know, everything I can offer you is available to you when we work together. It's such a beautiful experience. It's so fun, and it's such an incredible transformative time in your life right now. And I recommend you reach out, you get help, you make sure that this truth gets solidified into every being, every cell of your body. Because if you start really using this, it changes quickly. The universe acts fast when you're having fun and you understand law of attraction. So I love you so much. And if you have any questions, I'll be watching for anybody watching the replay that has any questions. I love you so much. Thank you for spending this time with me today for you and for this world. Because could you imagine how this world would change if we had leaders and teachers and moms and daughters and inspiring figures that all talked about this type of thing? How when we act in compassion and self-love, we all of a sudden create the life we want, which makes us happy and peaceful and not ready for war. We want to love each other and understand and shift our view when needed. We will no longer be so rigid and so consumed with being right and being wronged and being a victim. We now start to look at things differently. That will change the world. So you do your part and change your thoughts to change your life. I love you so much, and until next time.